On Channel 8 News, the recent terrorist attack in Kenya has many families worried.
And if you're a fan of baseball, stay with us. We have a look at the Kansas City Royals opening day.
Out here, it looks like the weather is kind of damp, kind of soggy, misty out in the background, as you can see, but spring's upon us. You can see here on the tree, things are finally starting to bloom. But later on in my 5-day forecast, I'll explain how these April showers can bring May flowers.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. For Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Zoldy DeJungen.
And I'm Austin Barnes.
A former daycare owner has been found guilty of aggravated battery and endangering a child. Lisa Hyman of Manhattan reportedly failed to immediately report a head injury of a child in her care. Prosecuting state attorney Bethany Fields said in Riley County Court Monday that Hyman entered a plea agreement and Hyman is set to face sentencing on May 26th.
Riley County Police continue to investigate several vehicle thefts, criminal damage to property, and vehicle burglary that occurred over the weekend. This in addition to a string of vehicle thefts in Manhattan over the past few weeks. Between April 4th and 5th, officers filed 8 reports for motor vehicle theft. Due to the ongoing nature of the crimes, no further information has been released. RCPD encourages anyone with knowledge of the crime to contact Crime Stoppers at 785-539-7777, or you can email them at manhattan-riley-county-crime-stoppers.com.
Even though the attack on the World Trade Center in New York City took place almost 14 years ago, the impact is still an important topic in America's culture. Nicole Dosso is a contributor to the redesign of the World Trade Center site and recently spoke to students at Kansas State University about her experience. Dosso helped design both buildings, 7 World Trade Center and 1 World Trade Center, which also includes the 9/11 Memorial.
Twin Towers were originally, set out to, demonstrate that as, their symbol was that, world peace, and I think to sort of be able to rebuild that and to restore the New York City skyline is, especially important.
Yeah.
And again, not just for New York, but really for the world.
While 7 World Trade Center has been open for 9 years, 1 World Trade Center just recently opened in November 2014. 1 World Trade Center is the tallest building in New York City and features a tourist observation deck, which is expected to open this spring. Now, everyone loves donuts, and if I wasn't trying to maintain my girlish figure, I would have been baking at the class on Tuesday held by the American Institute of Baking right here in Manhattan. But we did have Channel 8 news reporter Caitlin Heyer get a first-hand look at bakers from across the country learning how to perfect their donuts.
Thanks, Zoldy. AIB International offers an intense program twice a year that not only attracts people from across the country, but
repeat. That's what the American Institute of Baking here in Manhattan.
We get students from all over the world and all across the United States.
There are currently 2 students enrolled in AIB's 16-week course, spanning 8 different states and 6 countries.
We have a bakery in Belize that has been running for over 55 years now, and I guess I just wanted to come here and learn as much as I can so I could take that back home.
This course has been offered twice a year for 93 years. The program gives students valuable experience.
Coming here and every day just applying it and seeing that hands-on practical side of it, I've learned a lot.
I wanted to enhance my background in all the ingredient functions, and I felt that coming to AIB would give me the background, that I needed to further my career.
The students have traveled near and far and have become a family.
Each and everybody, you cannot go through this course without becoming a knit group and being able to rely on each other. That's what makes it so great.
The students will take their new baking skills across the world and back home.
So I think it is a very good experience for anybody to come here.
Now the students at AIB also produce things like cakes, breads, and these delicious looking donuts that they gave me today.
You know, Caitlin, those look fantastic. Did you make those?
I did not. They made them at the class, and it was really hard for everyone in the studio to keep their hands off.
Well, maybe next time, because I know that you've mentioned AIB is expanding globally, but I hear they're also expanding their facilities locally.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Austin. We'll have more on that next week with an in-depth look at their renovations.
Well, thanks, Katie. I appreciate it. 2 years ago, the jihadist group Al-Shabaab attacked a Kenyan shopping mall in the capital city of Nairobi and killed nearly 70 people.
Last week, the group struck again, causing turmoil. And Channel 8 reporter Alyssa Lally has the story.
Thanks, Austin and Zaldi. Last Thursday, April 2nd, at least 4 Al-Shabaab militants attacked a dormitory of a university in Garissa, Kenya, killing 147 and injuring 79. I sat down with journalism professor from Kenya, Dr. Samuel Mwangi, to talk about the event and its impact.
It is not the first time, but it is the first time that we have people who are born and raised in Kenya actually coming in and shooting fellow Kenyans. I think that university should be closed. It is way to the north, and we have very poor security presence in that area. Until security is beefed up north, I think we should not have a university there, because we are endangering the students that we are sending there. Remember, university students are some of the brightest people in society. And when we send them there and they become fodder for Al-Shabaab, what good does that do to us? I think it's important for people to understand the connection between what is happening and what has happened in Somalia. Somalia neighbors Kenya, and for more than 20 years there has been no government in Somalia. It's a lawless land where we have all these factions fighting each other, and until the situation is stabilized, we will continue to face these kinds of attacks. All those countries next to Somalia will continue facing these kinds of attacks. I feel sad that I'm in an environment where something like that, I'll never have to worry about it happening. And yet I can feel the pain that the tragedy has caused to students and parents back home. And I wish there was something I could do.
Garissa is just about 100 miles away from the Somali border, and according to an article from NPR, attacks in this area by Al-Shabaab are not really uncommon, but none have happened to this magnitude. I'll have more on the story next week.
Well, it truly is a heartbreaking story. Thank you, Alyssa. When we return, our weatherman Tanner Barth will update us to see what severe weather is going on around Kansas.
And we'll be live at the Sunset Zoo. You won't want to miss it.
If you ever wanted to be on radio, you can by signing up to join the Wildcat 91.9. The station is open to all students, no matter what your major is. The best part, you can get experience right away as well as no sign-up fees. You can be a DJ for the alternative and hip-hop and rap rotation, or report for news and sports. Wildcat 91.9, KSDB, Manhattan.
Jordan. I'm Michael.
I'm Maureen. May.
And we're four of the members of On the Spot Improv Club. We do everything improvised.
Completely live. We're so good at group thing. We all just say a word and everyone will know what I'm thinking.
Brownie Thompson. If you change your word, then we don't know what you're talking about.
Improvise.
Okay.
One more time. Ribbon.
I don't understand how am I supposed to know what you guys are gonna think?
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Zolly DeUngan.
And I'm Austin Barnes. Now, we all know that exercise is good for your health, but what if you could run for the health of others?
Amy Pond joins us in the studio with co-director Stacy Needfeld for the Running of Others 5K. Amy?
Thanks, Zaldi. I'm here with Stacy. And so the race is Saturday in Wamego. So can you tell me a little bit about how the race got started?
We started about 5 years ago, and we just saw a need in the community to raise funds to help people who either lose a parent or have severe medical conditions to help pay for their costs.
And so who is the race benefiting this year?
This year we are benefiting a little girl from Rossville named Cadence Hare, and she was diagnosed with kidney cancer in October. And we're also benefiting Zoe Garver. She is from St. George, and she has a couple neurological and physical conditions that make things difficult for her, and we'll be splitting the proceeds between each one.
Okay. All right, and that's all we have time for. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Amy. It sounds like a great opportunity. Now, last week, we gave you a closer look at the growing game industry here in Manhattan.
That's right. Now, reporter Megan Miller is here to join us about the grand opening from Boom Comics. Megan, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Zaldi and Austin. For those who love comic books, the gaming world really is booming in Manhattan.
The store was not completely ready for its recent grand opening, but the owners were.
We were planning on opening at noon, but we got so many people already interested in coming in that we went ahead and opened the doors for them.
Boom Comics is a new store that provides a place for people to explore and spend time doing what they love.
It operates for the community.
Manhattan residents now have a place they can pick up their favorite comic books, board games, and much more.
Having a store that has comics, video games, board games, and competitive card games, all of these in one spot, will draw a lot of people, I think, to our location to kind of check everything out.
The owners and managers were not the only ones eager for the store's opening.
And then back here will be our playing area. Anybody who wants to play a board game.
You know, somebody at work said something about it, and we all started driving by just waiting to figure out when it opened.
After a lot of preparation, the wait is over.
For the past 2 weeks, I've put in a few all-nighters. I reached a point last night, probably around 5:30 a.m., where I simply could not pay attention to my work any longer. So I crashed on the floor.
Wilson was up late working on the video game theater that is unique to this location.
We figured out that there was no real comic book store in this area of Kansas, but there's a large population. Especially with the students and all the kids and everything around in the area, we felt like it could really support a store like this.
Boom Comics has one other location in Topeka, and if the new store in Manhattan does well, the owners say they're looking to expand in the Kansas City area. But for now, Manhattan residents can check out Boom Comics at 4th and Leavenworth and Goblin Games on the 3000 block of Anderson Avenue. There may even be some friendly competition between the two stores.
And there's nothing wrong with friendly competition. Thanks, Megan.
Maybe we'll even get a visit from Iron Man or Captain America soon.
Well, that would be pretty neat. Now, that's not all we have to explore in Manhattan. With the weather warming up, the zoo is definitely the place to be. We have reporter Ryan Mannering live from the Sunset Zoo with an update on their latest activities. Ryan, how are things?
Thank you, guys. I'm out here at Sunset Zoo with Ella, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the flamingo exhibit that they have out here. Ella, tell us something interesting about where these guys came from.
Yeah, so they have a really fun story. In the early 2000s, we actually flew down to Florida and got 12 eggs from a racetrack down there, brought them back here to Kansas, raised them behind the scenes, hatched about 17 of the 20, and they are part of the flock that we have here behind us right now.
Very cool. So this is home for them.
It is. They know nothing more than Kansas weather. So when it's cold outside, we'll have them behind the scenes in a warmer area. But on days like today, they're out and about and for the public to see.
Great. Yeah. And are these guys a fan favorite? I see they're making a lot of noise. I bet people really find that pretty exciting.
Yeah, kids love them. They're so colorful. It's easy for them to distinguish them in the exhibit. And we had a little girl here last week, and she posted on our Facebook wall, and she was out here standing like a flamingo. So a lot of people love these animals.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I think that's all that we have time for. Thank you so much. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Ryan. It truly does look like a lot of fun out there.
You know, they always have such exciting things going on at the zoo, so it's always kind of fun to see what the next big thing is going to be.
And we will see what that big thing will be. When we come back, we take a look at the upcoming weather this week.
And we see just how K-State students did at the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Awards. Stay tuned.
Non-traditional students are an important piece of K-State heritage. Some of these students are veterans returning back to civilian population after serving in our armed forces. This can be a troubling time for these veterans. Trying to adjust back to civilian life can be a hard obstacle to overcome. The Veterans Center at K-State helps these students with this transition. Through counseling and other means, these veterans can find the help they need for this transition at the K-State Veterans Center. The center is located on the ground floor of the Student Union just inside Salsaritas.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I am Zaldi Diungen.
And I'm Austin Barnes.
Now, I don't know about you, Austin, but I've been absolutely celebrating this warm weather this week.
Zaldi, I've been enjoying every second of it. I'm just hoping that we can keep it. Let's see what weather reporter Tanner Barth has to say.
Yeah, guys, I mean, when you take a look outside, it's a little bit colder today outside, but you see that throughout most of the day we may be expecting some mist, possibly later on in the afternoon. But right now it seems that it's just mostly cloudy out right now. There's a little bit of a mist in the air. About come the afternoon, though, there is a chance of thunderstorms, about 50% chance. But right now, it looks like so far that it's just going to be a little misty out for this morning. But when you're looking at your national temperature map, you start in the northeast part of the country. You start at Seattle, 61 degrees. Moving down into San Diego, it's a little bit cooler than normal, 65 down there, 74 in Albuquerque, 81 down in Dallas, 61 in Denver. Just about regular seasonal temperatures there for Denver. And then you look at the eastern part of the country, the Midwest actually, 78 here in Kansas City. Down in Miami, 85 degrees, beautiful as usual. Up in the northeast, you've got Boston, it's 40 degrees there. They're expecting a little bit cooler temperatures than normal. When you look at the national weather map, scheme of things, we start in the western part of the United States, mostly sunny on the west coast, as always in California, sunny there. But then you go through the Midwest, you've got thunderstorms starting to build up, you've got a high pressure system meeting with the low pressure system. That's going to form thunderstorms and throughout the Midwest and all the way into the East Coast. When we took a look at the Kansas temperature map, in the western part of Kansas, 68 in Colby, 82 down in Dodge, 75 in Great Bend, 63 up in Osborne, 83 down in Wichita, and for the eastern part of Kansas, 76 in Manhattan and 75 down in Pittsburgh. When you look at the Kansas temperature map now for the 5-day forecast, today for your Wednesday on your 5-day forecast, 50% chance of thunderstorms, 76 for the high, 53 for the low. Tomorrow, there's a 30% chance of thunderstorms, 64 on Thursday. Sunny on Friday, 66 and 42. And for the rest of your weekend, Saturday, mostly cloudy, 70 with a low of 53, mostly cloudy. And then Sunday, 70% chance of thunderstorms with a high near 71 and a low near 50. But that's it, guys. Back to you. It looks like it should be a pretty good weather weekend, except for Sunday. That's when the thunderstorms are going to start to roll in when those high and low pressure systems meet up.
Well, thanks, Tanner. I think for the meantime, while there's still severe weather, I'm going to lock myself indoors.
Sounds like you have the right idea. K-State took home the most awards of any college in the state at the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Student Seminar. K-State won 45 awards, 14 for TV and 31 for radio.
Now, K-Staters who took home awards were Jordan Sawyer, Victor Roy, Willie Evans, James Copeland,
Stephen Brunson, Alex Ayton, Bill Gurney, John Forsey, Johnny Harvey,
Anthony Williams, Ellen Collingwood, Carrie Bingham Gutierrez, Katie Watkins, Daniela Martinez Serrano, and Dakota German.
Greg Jansen, Morgan Hulsman, Nick Wall, Matt Harrison, Eric Neem, and Michelle Scarpus.
Now, my co-anchor Austin Barnes also picked up a few awards.
I did, but congratulations are also in order to you, Zaldi, because you also took home some awards.
Thank you. So it really is a great thing to have on your resume, am I right?
It really is. It's a great honor.
Now, it looks like the Royals are picking up right where they left off. We have coverage from opening day coming up after the break. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Zolly DeUgan.
And I'm Austin Barnes.
We are joined by Reagan Porter, the sports reporter. Now, Reagan, did those Batcats knock it out of the park this week?
Zaldi, it was close, but in 10 innings, the Batcats did not pull out the victory. There were a lot of purple and red baseball caps packing Tointon Family Stadium last night when the Kansas State baseball team took on the Nebraska Huskers. We saw some action in the second inning when Tanner LeBach stepped up to the plate and hit a rare triple to right center, bringing Ben Miller home, scoring the Huskers' first run. The Batcats' Max Brown hit a quick single, but was then picked off, giving the Wildcats their first out. Steve Saratori, turned things around for the Batcats and doubled to right field, then made his way home when Tyler Moore singled to center field. Nebraska would come out of Manhattan with the win of 5-4 in the 10th inning. The Wildcats hit the road today for an away game at Omaha. When they return this weekend, K-State will host number 2 TCU. The series opener is packed the park with limited $1 tickets remaining for standing room only. The Kansas State men's golf team continued its spring slate in 2015 Gary Koch Invitational this past Monday and Tuesday. The red shirt, Matt Green, finished with a 3-round total of 5 over par and a 32nd place tie. Now that is something to be proud of. The Wildcat team left North Carolina placing 11th, 6 strokes shy of a tie for 9th. The former member of K-State men's golf team, Robert Streb, will compete in the Masters this week. Streb was a 4-year letter winner for the Wildcats from 2006 to 2009. ESPN will have the first and second round coverage on Thursday and Friday, while CBS takes over for the third and final rounds over the weekend. So turn your TVs on tomorrow and to support our fellow Wildcat. America's favorite pastime is in full swing as Major League Baseball kicked off their season. Channel 8 reporter Katie Johnston joins us now for the details.
Thanks, Reagan. This opening week, fans came from all across the nation to support one very special team in Kansas.
Kansas City was very blue, but it wasn't because of the weather. The Royals opened up the 2015 season against the Chicago White Sox. This is the first time fans have seen the team at home since the historic playoff run to the World Series last October. Fans of all ages made the trip out to Kauffman Stadium, some missing work and some missing school.
I scheduled it off because I knew I was going to have to be at home opener. Got to be here, game 1.
I went to class till about 11:45 and then I left because my mom just picked us up.
It may be cloudy with a chance of rain, but that didn't stop thousands of fans from gathering at Kauffman Stadium for the Kansas City Royals season opener.
Fans gathered around 10 a.m. to start off their tailgate out in the parking lot.
Yeah, no, the optimism, you start off 0-0 and everybody's excited about it. So today will be special with the flag going up and the ring ceremony. So yeah, everybody's pretty pumped up about today.
Obviously home openers, everybody is here, everybody's ready to go, everybody's kicking it off, everybody's ready for a good time.
Tickets for the season opener ranged from $95 to as much as $360. Which makes it even more impressive that fans like Christian Garcia have been attending Royals games for well over 2 decades, along with more than 50 members of his family and friends.
Yeah, we all sit together, so we actually had a lot more about 10 years ago, but they scaled us down to 50 now, so yeah, but we don't have any problems finding enough people to come.
It doesn't matter if opening day was your first baseball game or just another one to tally up. The color of choice was blue, and there was only one thing fans could say.
Go Royals! The Royals had an explosive first game of their season, outscoring the White Sox 10 to 1. Zaldi and Austin, the Royals play their final game of their opening series today at 1:10. Will I expect you guys to be watching?
Thanks so much, Katie. I've already stocked up on peanuts and popcorn, so I'll be watching.
And I will be joining Austin as well to watch the game.
Now, speaking of joining, coming up here after the break, we've got a sneak peek of the newest member to the Channel 8 News team.
And I heard this new member is taking over the title as best looking on the show. Stay tuned.
Michael.
I'm Maureen.
May. And we're four of the members of On the Spot Improv Club.
We do everything improvised.
Completely live.
We're so good at group thing. We all just say a word and everyone will know what I'm thinking.
Brownie.
If you change your word, then we don't know what you're talking about.
Improvise.
Okay.
One more time. Ribbon.
I don't understand what. How am I supposed to know what you guys are gonna think?
Welcome back. I'm Zolly DeJungen.
And I'm Austin Barnes.
Here at Channel 8 News, we would like to extend our congratulations to one of our very own, Misty Stevens. We are so excited on the birth of your baby girl. Now look at that.
That's right. Next week's Channel 8 News anchor is actually going to be all 7 pounds and 9 ounces of Misty's baby. So congratulations,
yes,
Misty.
Congratulations indeed. Let's get a last look at the weather. Tanner, should I stay inside today?
I don't know if you should stay inside, Zaldi, but if you're looking at the weather, it looks like it's going to be a cloudy day. You have a chance of showers late in the afternoon, but go out and enjoy it. It's spring weather, and it's time to go. I mean, but coming to the weekend, it looks like there's going to be more thunderstorms, so you might as well get out there and get your activities in now, because come Sunday, I think there may be a little bit higher chance of thunderstorms there.
Well, that's all we have for you on today's show. Remember to tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 to see the latest updates on Manhattan and K-State. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook at Channel 8 KSU. From the team here at Channel 8, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.